Get Ripple, the bright new drink with that ring-a-ding flavor. Ripple.
Hello.
Hi there.
Welcome
To the Ripple Podcast.
to my couch.
To your house with your dogs.
Yes.
Recording in,
What?
I was trying to figure out how many different locations we've recorded it.
Oh, I don't know. I've lost count. But
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah, we're very flexible.
We're so versatile.
We are. Do you want us to record at your house? Come out, call us. We'll come over.
Yeah. We'll do that. Maybe.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
not. But, it's a good thought.
Yeah. You're Angela. I'm Rosa.
This is the Ripple Podcast.
My week was good, I think. It was, we had a stomach bug part of the time. So that wasn't that great. But other than that, the week has been good. It's been busy. Today's weather was windy. It sucked. I hate the wind.
Well, at least you could just stay inside.
Yeah, you were outside.
I'm
huh?
outside all day, every day. How was your first week of the new year, though? You have your New Year's resolution. I told you I was going to ask you about that. How's it going?
It's going well. I was purging a bunch of shit again. So I feel accomplished when I'm able to bag stuff up and get rid of it.
I have a great idea.
Tell me.
We can do a giveaway
Of all my shit?
of all your shit.
Well, I know.
We'll hold a contest. Whoever wins gets a random box of Rosa's things.
I mean, that might be kind of cool. I have
could
some
be
cool
fun.
stuff.
Who wants a bag of crap?
Crap bag.
Yeah.
Remember that from Friends?
No.
When Phoebe changed her name to
Oh, yeah.
Princess Consuela Banana Hammock.
I do remember.
And then her husband, boyfriend, whatever, changed his name to Crap Bag.
Yep.
It always comes back to Friends. I'm doing well. I feel like I'm doing well with my purging organizing.
That's good.
Yeah. How about you?
Okay. I'm doing 75 hard. Not as strict as I want it to be, but you know what? I'll make it harder every week. That's my plan. But I'm doing the workouts. I'm drinking the water. I'm doing all the stuff and things. Making progress.
We had a listener talking about you inspiring them to do something similar.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Who?
A listener, Karen.
Oh.
She said that, listening to our latest episode about you doing 75 hard and just getting outdoors and doing a workout and then doing one indoors, she felt inspired to kind of do that for her mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that it's making a difference.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Go Karen.
Right?
That's really cool.
We also had the suggestion because, we need more things to do because that's just how we are.
Oh, God.
But we had a suggestion that because we're coming up on our 100th episode.
Holy shit, really?
I mean, not coming up on, but we're 86. I think this is 86.
We never keep track.
I'm numbering them now, so it's kind of easier. But it's coming up. But they said that we should do a book almost.
Oh, God.
Where there's a synopsis. Synopsis, is that the right word? No, summary.
That's the same thing.
Okay, look at me go. And of each episode. And there's a picture or, what we do with Instagram. And then our sources where they can, if they want to read more. And then, but the big part was the recipe for our drinks.
Oh.
That's what they want is
we haven't done
a
that in a
recipe
long
book.
time.
Yeah. But that would be kind of fun.
That would be fun. And you know what? We could go back and create drinks because there's been times where we wanted to make a drink, but we couldn't find the right ingredients or we just couldn't get to the store that week. We might be able to go back and do that.
I mean, it'd be kind of fun. Didn't you just get a gift for a friend about Disneyland drinks and stuff?
Yeah, it was the unofficial recipe book for Disneyland drinks. And there's a shit ton of drinks at Disneyland. I had no idea. There's so many.
So that would, we could put because we did a couple Disney episodes. I mean, it would be kind of fun to go back and create at least the recipes for each episode. And then if they wanted to listen, they could make that drink with us.
We also had a great idea a long time ago that we never did, where we were going to become TikTok famous by doing a 1-minute summary of every episode. Remember when we were going to do that?
Yeah.
We spent like a good 30 minutes trying to figure out how to TikTok.
I'm not a TikTok savvy girl. I mean, I'll watch it, but I don't really know how to.
Yeah,
I've never really tried either.
Really good at watching it.
But yeah, we need a not a producer, a publicist. No, a promoter. One of those P words. We need a promoter. Someone to just come up and do all these things for us. We'll give them the idea and they just take it and run with it.
And if you want to take on that position,
I will
we
pay
will
you.
send you one crap bag a week from Rosa's house.
Yeah. It might have paint. It might have slippers. It might have books. Maybe stickers. You never know. Lots of clothes.
That could be yours. Those could be yours.
For the low price of doing the things that we don't know how to do.
Or don't want to do.
Yeah.
We have a hard enough time just getting this podcast uploaded.
Yeah. But thanks for the ideas, guys.
Yeah, it's a really great thought.
Maybe it'll happen. Maybe we'll do like another giveaway. Remember when we did the giveaway boxes, afraid and anxious and stressed out and pissed off?
Something like that. Yeah, we gave away some super cool prizes. How many did we have? Like 4 of them, right? 4 kits. We spent some serious time and money and effort on making those. Those are really cool.
I don't even remember what they had to do to receive them.
I don't even remember exactly what was in them. There was a crystal.
There was some stickers and a pin.
There was like a bracelet, I think.
I know one of them went to like Germany. Went like I went to another country. I know.
A place that costs way more
than the items inside were worth.
Yes.
That's why now I understand why they do the like U.S. continental states only or something like that.
Yeah.
That was a pricey one.
Wow.
But we learned. It was fun. We got to do something like that. As 100 gets closer, we'll figure something out.
Yeah. Because I also want to do our kind of like what you were saying, the synopsis book, but kind of an episode where we go back and revisit all of our old stories and see if anything's changed. I think that'd be fun to do updates. Would anybody care?
I would.
That's all that really matters,
right?
Right. Okay.
Well, it's your turn to tell a story after 3 weeks of me telling you stories.
Yes.
It's finally my turn to sit back with what am I drinking? I am drinking how do you say that? Unita Brewing Company? UINTA? Unita.
Uinta.
I mean, this isn't the brewing company name I would suggest because I can't say it.
No.
But the beer itself is delish. It's Peppermint Patty limited release. It's a pastry stout made with lactose and natural flavors. I don't know where it's brewed, but
Utah.
It is. How do you know that?
Because it says it on. Turn the label. Turn. Your hand's covering it.
Oh, brewed in Utah, Salt Lake City. Wow. Those Mormons know how to brew some beer.
And I also like that they have a little picture, like a little silhouette of their state, so we know what Utah looks like.
Where?
Right next to it.
Is that what that is?
I think so.
I thought it was just like a square with like, yeah.
Isn't that kind of what Utah is?
You're asking me.
So that drink has nothing to do with our actual story tonight.
Do you want to taste it?
I'll taste just a tiny bit.
I know you're not drinking alcohol.
No, I'm not. I'm drinking ginger ale. I'm so hip and cool. I'm drinking like a Mormon tonight. Oh, that's really good. That's really good.
It's like a peppermint patty beer.
It is.
It's so good. Trader Joe's. This is where I got it. If you have a Trader Joe's near you, pick this up for sure. If you like peppermint. And I love peppermint. It's one of my favorite flavors.
Me too. All right.
Tell me a story.
Okay. It's perfect that you mentioned Germany because we're actually talking about Germany tonight. We're doing another story that kind of involves true crime. And I know we're not a true crime podcast because
barely a podcast.
The world does not need another true crime podcast. But I promise you that this one is very strange and highly unusual And I think in the coming weeks, we'll have things that are a little bit further away from the true crime range. But for tonight, I have a story that would help if I logged onto my computer to read it off.
Okay, is your computer on?
My computer's on. My computer is trying to reconnect. That's not a good thing, but I think we can get through it. Okay, so we're talking about a place.
Wait, I'm going to stop you really quick
What?
already.
Tell me.
So I'm going back and like getting our website finally set up and going, and I'm going back and reading different like summaries of the episodes and whatever. Do you remember when we did an episode and the power went off and we continued to record in the dark?
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah.
It was like a super crazy Santa Ana season, and there was a bunch of wildfires, and anytime the wind blew, the power would go out.
Yeah, we were at Eric's house.
I do, and I think on that episode, we had like tried to record it like 12 times, and we were just so fed up. We're just going to go. We're just going to keep going.
Until the battery on the computer runs
Yes.
out. Yeah, so it just reminded me when you were saying it's not connecting. Hey, if we can record in the dark, we can record with your crazy internet right now.
It's connected now. What is going on? Come on, Elon. I have Starlink now, which is freaking awesome. But every once in a while, it just like, it shuts off and then it comes right back on. But anyway, we're talking about a place. First off, I just want to preface this by I'm probably going to mispronounce like 1,200 things in this thing because it's German translations. But we're just going to go with it. Have you ever heard of a place called Heilbronn?
Sure,
Yeah,
I have.
It's a place in Germany.
All right.
We know it. We love it. I don't know if I pronounced it correctly, but yeah. And as I tell this story, Rosa, I'm going to give you a job.
Oh.
You're going to do some investigative, detective
research
thinking. Okay?
Right. Thinking and Rosa.
And as I describe the subject of our story tonight, I want you to kind of develop in your head, and we'll keep checking in on kind of like what just happened?
I bumped something. It's
Okay. A criminal profile, like who you think that this
Who done it?
Got it. Exactly. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm going to start off with an individual who was found murdered back in 1993.
Okay.
Her name is Lisa. I could not find her last name because for some reason, I don't know if it's a privacy thing. A lot of these German articles don't give last names, but that's probably a good thing because I probably wouldn't be able to pronounce it anyway.
Sure. Lisa, we can say.
She lived alone in her home in
Somewhere in Germany.
Haberstein.
This is going really well.
She was 62 years old.
Oh, okay.
She was a retired woman. And she was kind of going about her morning, doing her regular morning chores. And on this morning in May, of a date that I don't have, in 1993, she was baking some lemon cakes.
Ooh, that sounds yummy.
It sounds delicious. And she put a kettle on the stove for some tea. And she was expecting to have company later that day. So she made a little flower arrangement, put it on the table.
Oh my God, how cute is she?
Super cute until she's dead. However, when the company arrived, Lisa didn't open the door. And they knocked. They saw her car in the driveway. And eventually they kind of got worried, and she knew that she must have been home. So they had to break their way into the house. I think they opened up a window and went looking for her.
Wow. Okay.
And there they found her. They were absolutely horrified to see her body on the ground of the kitchen floor. And she was surrounded by these scattered flowers that had been removed from the bouquet. And she had been strangled to death by a floral wire.
Oh, geez.
That was used to hold the
Ouch.
I know, right?
Those-
the arrangement together.
Those are, like, I feel like you could almost decapitate someone with.
Yeah.
Because they're so, like, sharp and strong. I use those when I make my succulent wreaths.
Mm-hmm.
And those can do some damage. That's not a fun way to die.
No, not at all. And if you're really into charcuteries, you might have one of those little wires to cut cheese with.
Sure. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, many of her neighbors were questioned by police. They immediately suspected that the killer was somebody that Lisa knew, which would make sense
Because she let them inside.
Exactly. See, you're already doing detective
Look
work.
at me.
There was no signs of forced entry, and there was a lack of any kind of self-defense wounds, which indicated that Lisa was caught off guard. So she might have been like putting this flower arrangement together on her kitchen counter, and her guest, whoever she had over,
Came up behind her
and just strangled her. And what was even more suspicious is that when they went and took fingerprints and DNA, they didn't find any fingerprints of anybody other than Lisa and other people who they knew would have had fingerprints in the home.
Or family members or whatever.
Right. But they did find some foreign DNA that was on the actual wire that was used to kill her.
Okay.
And that same DNA was found on a teacup that was left behind the kitchen table, leading police to believe that the killer was actually joining Lisa in her kitchen for some tea.
Was there anything stolen that they noticed?
No.
So they just pretty much killed her to kill her.
Yes.
And then left the scene.
Nobody saw anyone leave. They asked the neighbors. They questioned them along with family and friends, but nobody had a clue of who would want Lisa dead.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, nobody saw anything. And this is in the middle of the day.
Okay.
Okay. So it would be 8 years before detectives had any sort of serious lead.
Yeah, that's quite a while.
Mm-hmm. And in March of 2001, 61-year-old Joseph, German last name, also lived alone in an apartment connected to a little antique shop. And one evening, he let a guest into his home. And as his back was turned, he was struck with a blunt object and then, again, strangled to death.
With what?
A garden wire.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And then he was, like you mentioned earlier, Lisa was not robbed, but he was actually robbed of 125 euros. I have no idea how much that is. And the killer's DNA was, again, found on the wire. And it was also found on a glass of water in the kitchen and on a number of items inside of the antique shop. But the kind of creepiest part about, no, not the creepiest, but a creepy part about all of this is that the killer also had DNA on the sign, the shop sign. They had flipped it from open to closed.
Oh, yeah, that is creepy.
Isn't that weird?
Stay away.
I feel like that's like a little extra thing that they would add into a horror movie.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So now we're kind of developing like a little bit of an idea of what kind of person would do this.
Okay,
I mean, there's a lot of similarities.
Yeah, older people, I mean, in their 60s, killed by strangulation of a floral wire, but also making those older people feel comfortable enough where they're going to share a drink with them.
Exactly.
I'm with it.
So this DNA was submitted to the Germans' national database in hopes of finding a match. And at the time, the technology was still in its infancy. You know, I did not write that. It was still real new. So also an interesting side note is, this is kind of weird. I don't know if we can keep this in there. I just thought that was kind of odd. So there was some resistance to using DNA profiling because Germany has a very complicated history with identifying people based on certain characteristics.
Sure.
Yeah. So it was kind of like a strange sort of thing. And where I had a little anecdote about it. So after World War II, Germany's Justice Ministry proposed a bill that would permit police to use DNA analysis to determine characteristics that were currently off limits, such as the suspect's age, the color of their skin, eyes, and hair. So detectives...
so what did they use?
They're able to find their
Sex?
Gender. Yes. And the gender... was, do you want to guess?
Male.
Female.
Oh, well, I had a 50-50.
You had a 50-50 chance. So detectives were actually kind of surprised that the suspect was a female. And the reason that they were kind of surprised because it would take a certain amount of strength to be able to take a wire and stand behind somebody and strangle them to death. Or do you disagree with that?
I mean, yes and no. It's not like they're strangling, a 27-year-old football player.
Exactly, yeah.
They're strangling an older person. And also, because of the wire, one little twist and that wire's going to stay. And just, you can continue to tighten it. It's not going to, like a rope or something.
You might be able to like kind of pull off and
loosen.
Yeah.
Where the wire, because of, it holds its form, the wire stays.
Right.
So.
And I kind of wasn't too surprised because of the invitation in. Like I feel like a female would be much more likely to be invited in by somebody who may not know them, because they just seem less threatening.
Sure.
If somebody, especially if this guy's at an antique shop, she might have been like, oh,
shopping.
I locked my keys in my car. Oh, well, I'm closing up. Do you want to make a phone call in my apartment?
Here,
Whatever.
have a seat. Would you like a glass of water while you wait?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that to me was like, okay, maybe she has a way of like talking to these people and making them feel more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So detectives began to compare the DNA with other unsolved cases of burglaries and breaking and entering, and to their surprise, this woman's DNA was actually linked to a ton of other crimes throughout southern Germany. So police knew that they were dealing with somebody who was almost like a career criminal. Like this was found way too often for it to be just like a convenient, what's it called? Opportunity killing. Yeah. So it seems like this
$141 is what the 125 euros is.
Wow.
I just looked that up.
That's
Sorry.
not enough.
No.
That's not enough
Sorry.
at all.
I just was curious of how much it was.
Yeah. Okay.
Opportunity killing. Sorry,
yes,
I totally interrupted
yes.
you.
Police knew that they were dealing with more than just an isolated incident. I already said that like 12 times. But this could potentially be a serial killer who seemed to support herself on stolen cash and goods.
Not a lot in 8 months, right? No.
8 years.
Between killings.
Correct.
Yeah, you're not going to live on $141.
Oh, no. She was connected to a bunch of burglaries and break-ins. So she had these 2 murders that she was connected to. But all of these other, like, I don't know if they would be considered petty crimes, but just like somebody who was frequently stealing
kind
stuff.
of like Gainesville, like hitting the Winn-Dixie, you know?
Right, yeah. So not only did she seem friendly with Lisa, but she seemed to move through the city as this kind of unsuspecting predator who could become quick friends with her victims, and then she would end up robbing and killing them. Although I don't think that she robbed Lisa. I don't know. Maybe I did that wrong. Her DNA was found on bite marks of a cookie left behind after a burglarized home.
That's kind of funny.
A home was burglarized.
She had like
a little bite of a cookie.
Why not take the whole thing? Maybe it was not a good cookie.
Maybe. Oh, her DNA was found on a pint glass after a bar was robbed of cash. And sometimes her DNA was found alone, but other times it was found with an accomplice.
Okay, so I'm thinking again about the cookie and the pint glass. Maybe those are situations where she was eating a cookie or drinking some beer and then robbed the place.
Right.
It's not like she robbed the place and decided to have a glass of...
Well, maybe. I don't know. Because if the home was burglarized, they probably didn't know she was there. She probably broke into the home.
Yeah,
She's going through stuff. She takes a little bite of a cookie, see if she can find some cash or some other things that she steal.
Weird. That's
but
weird.
With the bar, yeah, maybe the bar she was there as a customer and
was kind of staking it out.
Right. And just kind of like, because she's so unnoticeable and sly. Yeah, she can kind of just blend in. The bar, she took cash. Sometimes, like I said, her DNA was alone. Other times it was with an accomplice. But the strange thing was she was never with the same person twice.
Well, then how do they know that it was an accomplice and not some random person at the bar?
A very good question, and I don't have the answer. So, but she was always just around. Like, not very much time would pass between one crime and another. Like, she just seemed to just fly under the radar. Mm-hmm. So she became known to the police as the Phantom of, how do I say it again? Heilbronn. Or the woman without a face.
That's a better way to say it.
Yes. So a few months after the second murder, a boy who was walking through the park found a heroin needle on a playground.
Oh, fun.
And I don't remember how old he was, but, young enough to be playing
heroin at a playground.
That's a very good question, and I could ask that to a lot of people in our Ventura County area. And afraid that the boy might have pricked himself, his mother took him, as well as this needle, to the hospital. And while at the hospital, when they were testing it for any sort of disease or anything that this boy could have exposed right there to, I mean, I hope anyone would do that, right? Like, I feel like an average mama hopefully
you
do
would
that.
hope. You would hope.
So they collected DNA, which, okay, this one I was really surprised by because, like, if you think about, say, your house is broken into, right?
Okay.
And the police come and they write a report.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that any cops around here would sample for DNA?
Fingerprints, but not
I don't think they would even do that. You think they would
because
dust for fingerprints?
Yeah, I know they would be because of a house that got broken into up the street.
Oh, really?
And they dusted.
Oh,
Mhm.
wow.
And they made a huge mess because
The
that's
dust
what
everywhere?
fingerprint testing does. But yeah.
Yeah.
And that's only because I know that person and their house that got broken into.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just kind of surprised because, like, okay, they got DNA off a cookie. They got DNA off a wine glass, a DNA off a pint glass, DNA off of this needle.
Yeah, but DNA is, I think, different than just a straight fingerprint, right?
Oh, yeah, because you have to send it. Well, I guess both go to a lab. I don't know. I just seemed like they are very, like,
On top of it.
sampling for DNA at any and every opportunity.
Well, and especially back in, what was this, 90s?
We started in 96 and now we're into
I think started in 93, no?
I don't know. We started in the 90s. Now we're in the 2000s.
Okay, but so that's still early on in the DNA process.
Right. In the infancy, one might say.
Right.
Okay. So, any surprises here that the DNA matched our woman without a face? Because why else would I be telling you about a random heroin needle found at a playground?
Right. Oh, so this chick does heroin? Ew.
Yeah. So now you're getting another clue of who this person might be.
Okay. At first I thought it was a man. Now it's a woman. Now it's a junkie. Is that a bad word to say? Am I allowed to say that?
We can say whatever we want.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I kind of said that out of order and I gave you a little hint. But yeah, after the heroin needle DNA was collected, a few weeks later, they found her DNA again, and it was on a wine glass at the scene of another burglary. And then shortly after that...
Wait a second.
What? Tell me.
So you're going to go rob this house and then pour yourself a glass of wine and drink it?
That's her style. That's the way she does it.
I've never, like, burglarized anywhere. House, business, whatever. But I feel like I'd be wanting to get in, take the shit, and get out as soon as possible. I'm not going to be hanging out, drinking wine, and eating cookies.
Hey, she's gotten away with it so far. So apparently she has a way of working it.
That's crazy.
But yes, so they found it on a wine glass. They found it in a stolen vehicle. And then, like, as I was reading through this, I don't know about you, but I mean, they say robbery, they say burglary, they say theft. Do you know the difference between any of those?
No.
Do you want to know? Because I was kind of curious and I wrote it down here. So I can tell you, or we can
because I kind of thought they were all the same.
No. This is where Rosa and Angela learn words. So theft occurs when someone intentionally takes and carries away, uses, transfers, conceals, or retains possession of a movable property.
So I got busted for theft when I stole the sweatshirt.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Maybe. Well, I don't remember. But let me read the rest and then we'll find out.
Okay.
Burglary occurs when someone intentionally enters a place without consent of the person in lawful possession and with intent to steal or commit a felony. So
I saw you wearing that sweatshirt and I broke into your house
and took it
and stole the sweatshirt from you.
Yes.
Without your permission.
Robbery occurs when someone takes property from the person or presence of the owner by either using force or by threatening to use force.
So I stole the sweatshirt off of your body.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was we need like little intro and exit music about
definitions.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Join us. Next week, we'll learn where states are.
No, we won't.
Next week, we'll find Germany on a map.
No, we won't. I can't even identify Utah on a beer bottle.
Oh, I had to like, because this, as the story goes on, she goes to other places, and I'm like, how the hell? France is like really far away, isn't it? No.
France
No,
and Germany?
Yeah.
Oh, I've been to France.
I haven't.
I haven't been to Germany, so I could have
Maybe
gone
you
to.
have. Maybe you just don't know.
It's possible.
Okay.
Quite possible.
So even though the Phantom was a career criminal, she, again, was never witnessed by anyone. However, the police were getting more and more information and kind of developing this profile like we're doing. And they now knew that she was a heroin user, and she likely stole to support her addiction.
Oh.
Okay. Making some connections here.
Okay. I didn't even put that. Yeah. I mean, heroin, I don't know. Is heroin cheap?
Well, if you're not working, everything's expensive, right?
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe she was. But yeah, I don't know. How much does heroin go? What are heroin units? Do you buy a bag of heroin?
Heroin is.
I need a hit of heroin.
I need a bag of heroin.
It's
a lot of heroin, right?
Are we talking like, is heroin purchased in like
kilos?
Are we talking snack size bags or sandwich size bags?
Aren't those the same?
No, snack size are like half of that.
Oh, the littles.
Or is heroin one of those things where they take like saran wrap and they like twist it up really, really tight into like
it's
a little.
little. I kind of think it's little because I'm thinking of like Breaking Bad when they were
That
like
was meth, wasn't it?
No, they did. Well, yeah, they were making the blue meth, but
What color is heroin? It's like black, isn't it?
That's black tar heroin.
Oh shit!
See, look at me. Look at I know this. Can't identify Utah, but I can tell you all about black tar heroin. Not all about it, but no. Remember on Breaking Bad when Jesse's girlfriend OD'd because they were doing coke and heroin, and they like put it on a spoon and like fired it up and then injected it.
Sounds like a lot of work.
And it makes you sleep. Like I can sleep right now.
Yeah.
I don't need heroin to sleep.
No, not at all.
No.
I got some melatonin gummies.
Yeah.
Want some of those?
Sure.
Okay.
A lot better than heroin.
All right. So they also thought that maybe she did not have her own vehicle because her DNA was found on that stolen vehicle.
Sure.
And so, but they noticed that she was moving around a lot because her DNA was found in crime scenes in Austria and in France. In 2005, detectives almost had the woman without a face in their grasp when investigating an attempted murder. And this time, she wasn't the suspect. So they're like making some connections here. And
wait. I'm stopping you. So they caught her, but they didn't know it was her?
No.
Oh, sorry.
So what had happened was they were at this place called Cathedral City of Worms.
No, it's not.
Maybe it's not pronounced that way, but it sure is spelled that way.
Okay.
I should have looked into that. And a member of a local gypsy community.
You're making all of this up right now.
No, I'm not. Turned a pistol on his brother. So he shot his brother in the head.
That's not nice.
No, it's not nice at all. And when they went to pick up evidence, they picked up the gun, they picked up the spent like casing and everything else involved. And on that spent round was DNA from
the woman without a face.
Good job. But how?
She must have loaded that gun.
Exactly.
So she was working with that guy that shot his brother.
Exactly.
Look at me, Detective Rosa.
What the police thought. So now they had this person that they could ask, like, okay, who is she? You know her. Obviously, you've been around her because she had access to your weapon and at one point loaded ammunition into your gun that you shot your brother. Not very nice, but still, like, you know who
Did
she
he die?
is. No, he didn't. I don't think. I don't know.
Maybe.
We're
Maybe
going to go with no.
Okay. That's much happier.
And so this particular community was like a traveling community, and they used cars and RVs to kind of to go to place to place.
Because they're gypsies.
Because they're gypsies, which is, they're now, to be politically correct, called Roma, at least. We're supposed to call them that here in the United States, but in all the German newspapers, they called them gypsies.
Well, on the Netflix show My Gypsy Wedding. That's what it's called.
Love that show.
And they're Roma, but Roma, like a tomato? But they're gypsies, but they're like Roma. Yeah. I know. It's really...
We're so canceled. I don't know. I just remember that as a fantastic show, and
So
they would
good.
have giant fluorescent dresses with all of the crystals on them.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah, but that was my big fat gypsy wedding or
birthday?
party. 16.
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah.
But it was all coming together because this group of people was traveling all the time. They weren't really staying in one place for long. And her crimes were showing up in all of these different places. So it's like, okay, now we have like more information on who this person could be.
And how she's getting around so much.
Exactly. So they questioned this guy who shot his brother for the longest time, and he just refused to give up any information. He completely denied knowing who she was. He wasn't going to help them at all. He just said, like, no, you're completely wrong. I don't know who this person is. She's not a part of our group. Don't know her. Never knew her.
So
Sorry.
I wonder if he was telling the truth or if he was trying to cover for her.
That's a good question. And it ultimately led to nothing. They couldn't pin it down. Like, they just couldn't get any information out of him. So police were still fighting hard to put the Phantom behind bars. In 2007 is when she fought back.
Wait, she fought back?
Yes.
Okay.
So in 2007, 22-year-old police officer Michelle, German last name, and her partner were parked in a lot at the Heilbronn, I'm never going to pronounce that correctly, fairgrounds. And they were taking a lunch break when an attacker appeared in the back seat of their patrol car
What the hell?
and shot them both in the back of the head.
Wait a second. How did she get in their patrol car? Like they put her there? Or she just happened to hop in?
She just happened to hop in. She wasn't like under arrest or anything.
And they didn't notice?
She's a phantom. Nobody ever sees her
Because she has no face.
because she has no face.
I feel, okay, so every time you say that, I feel like, I mean, I can't picture anything in my head, but I feel like I keep, like, thinking of the chick from The Office, the, like, front desk secretary lady. Pam, yeah. Like, kind of just like a plain Jane.
Just doesn't really stand out, like kind of blends in.
Mm-hmm. Like, you'd see her, she seems nice, and it sounds bad, but, like, not real memorable. Like,
Maybe.
she just kind of blends in.
Yeah, I mean, that would be obviously, like, if she had bright red hair or something, that would be something that would stand
Some
out.
distinct
Right.
features. But she's very, like, average. But still, I mean, how do you not know there is someone in the backseat of your damn patrol car?
Well, not only did this person get into the back of their car and shoot both of the police and the
Did
police
they
officers.
both die?
No. Unfortunately, Michelle did pass away, but her partner did survive. So, but before I get to that part, I just want to add on that the killer actually was so confident that before fleeing the scene, took both of the service weapons off of these police officers that were shot.
Wow.
Yeah. So Michelle was actually able to get out of the patrol car and call for help before she had passed away. And that's where backup found her, was just on the ground. Her partner, his name's Martin, survived the gunshot, but he was in a coma for 6 weeks. And of course, when he woke up, he had no memory of the attack.
Maybe, and you're probably not going to know this, but are patrol cars different in Germany? Like, if you're in the back of a patrol car here,
You have a camera on you?
well, you can't get out. Like,
Oh, I see what you mean.
and there's like a window, like it's almost like a cage, right?
Yeah.
So how did this person?
Climb over the front.
Well, it's a cage. Like, there's like a divider between the front seat
Yeah.
and back.
Unless it wasn't, I mean, I don't know if all patrol cars are set up to take people, like arrest people.
I don't know.
And maybe it wasn't like I don't know. Maybe
I'm
it was
just like
a
trying to think of the whole, like all the
Right.
different scenarios.
I mean, just the fact that somebody was able to walk up, get inside the car, and be unnoticed.
How did that even happen?
It's like it's not even a real person. Like it's like literally a phantom, like some evil.
Because even if they have like a clicker, like remote, like you walk away from your car to go to Starbucks or whatever, you click the the button to lock the doors. It's not like you leave your doors on. I don't know. Okay, keep going because
Okay.
I'm just rambling.
So if having this serial killer on the loose wasn't scary enough, this area was now terrorized by the fact that even the people who were employed to protect them weren't safe from this phantom or this woman without a face. So the people came up with theories that like she was plotting revenge, like the police keep, putting out information to try to find her, and she's like sick of it and wants to fight back, and that was her way of saying, screw you, you're not going to catch me.
Wow.
So in 2009, police increased the reward that they had offered for any information leading to the phantom to 300,000 euros it was at 300 and they increased it to 350. But still, this woman eluded police. Like, people, of course, put in all kinds of possible... What's up? Are you trying to look up what it was?
Yeah. I put
think I have it.
350 instead of 350,000.
Yeah.
That's a big difference. 396, almost $400,000.
That's insane. Yeah, so, of course, all kinds of people are saying, oh, it's my whoever, my neighbor,
Because they
want to possibly get this money. But yeah, it never led to anything. And that was until March of 2009, so just a few months later, they had obtained some surprising evidence that would confuse the police even further. So, the burned remains of a murder victim were discovered in France.
Okay.
The damage to the body made the victim unrecognizable. But investigators took DNA samples in hopes of determining the identity of the victim, and to their surprise, the
Was the
victim
chick.
was none other
The lady without a face.
the woman without a face. However, there was one problem. When this body was taken to the medical examiner, it was undeniably
Male.
You got it.
Wait a second.
Reza, how is this possible?
I have no idea.
I mean, they had at one point theorized that the woman without a face could have been transgender. So, like, you're always seeing a man walk away, and that way, like, nobody would match it up because they're getting female DNA, but this person presents as a male, and people just wouldn't put it together. That was kind of like one theory that was going on.
Okay, that makes sense.
However, you can't change your DNA. And if your DNA says you're biologically female, but you're clearly a male, how is that possible?
I don't understand. Are you
Think
going
about
to
it.
explain it to me?
Okay, forget the gender stuff. I'll just give you that hint right now. That wasn't the case.
Okay. It's the wrong person then.
It's the wrong person, but how?
I don't know.
Well, it puzzled the police for a while. And then they tried to backtrack every step that they took in identifying who this could possibly be. And they determined that contaminated cotton swabs were the culprit all along.
Are you kidding me? That's the stupidest answer I've ever heard.
Finally, police hit upon the idea that this was the fault of the equipment that they used to sample DNA.
Are you kidding me?
An exhaustive search eventually led to a German medical supply factory, and the same female employee who had worked there from the early 90s all the way up to 2009 had provided these cotton swabs to the police
No.
containing her DNA.
Not on.
So imagine working this job for years and years and years, watching the news, being horrified by this crazy
woman that was
terrible
out there.
serial killer woman, and it was your DNA all along.
Okay, so wait. So this man now that they have found, like burned beyond recognition, is he actually the killer and the one that has...
Not at all. No. Because they were testing her DNA. So none of these cases, they may not have been connected at all. They could have been random, like all these times that they picked up, oh, she had a accomplice. No, that accomplice was probably the person who did it.
No.
So all of this time,
it was a lady working in a factory.
Exactly.
But she didn't really do anything. She's actually doing her job.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
And at first I was thinking like, oh my God, can you imagine being the one who fucks all this up? And like for years, these people are going free because you did it wrong and you contaminated.
She didn't do anything wrong.
She didn't do anything wrong. So they ordered these cotton swabs as sterile swabs. And they were in fact sterile, but they were not intended to be used to collect DNA. So a sterile swab, meaning like it doesn't have any pathogens on it. So it doesn't have any bacteria, virus, fungus, anything like that could potentially screw up a lab test where maybe you're culturing out something in a petri dish or something like that. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's free of foreign DNA. So basically what happened is this German police department screwed up, ordered the wrong things, and used it for however many years have gone by. And all of these crimes, they were so tunnel visioned on this one aspect of it that they like basically let people go free in more than 40 different crimes that they connected her to.
That's terrible.
It's awful. So it says here that the swabs were routinely sterilized before packing. The process wasn't enough to remove traces genetic material, which is precisely what those swabs weren't certified to use for. So like they're doing exactly what they were supposed to do. Someone in the purchasing department had accidentally ordered the wrong kind of swabs. It's not like it's funny, but it's not funny because like
people die,
murders and stuff, you know. And when it came back to bite the police in a spectacular fashion, I did not write that. Yeah, so for 16 years they were looking for a person who just didn't
They were
exist.
looking for Pam.
Yeah. So a German spokesperson, or German police spokesperson, Joseph Schneider, said, "This is a very embarrassing story. 40 unsolved cases that they now needed to go back and reinvestigate, and chances are they're not going to get solved." But that's the end of my story. That's the story about the woman.
Wait, who is the man that burned up?
Oh, he was they determined his identity, but probably by using the correct swabs after that, and it was just completely unrelated. He was I think it was like actually, if you really want to get into it, I think it was like a hate crime. He was like a refugee in the area.
Oh.
Yeah. Really sad.
Yeah.
And then I will say,
go
go ahead. No, that was creepy. The police officer who was murdered so horrifically, they didn't find the individual who did it. Like the police didn't find him, but he later confessed in like a suicide tape. And he ended up being a part of some sort of like neo-Nazi group.
Wait. The police officer?
Who was murdered. The person who killed her was this like neo-Nazi guy who ended up taking his own life. But before he did that, he confessed in like a...
So they did find out who
did it, yes.
But they still don't know how that person got in the back of the cop car.
I mean, if they do, I don't know the details of it. She didn't kill Lisa. She didn't kill little antique man.
She didn't rob and eat cookies and drink wine, and
she didn't load bullets in a gypsy gun.
She
didn't do any of those things. Wow. She's just working hard, doing her job, dedicated, coming to work every day, packing those swabs for 16 years.
So another tie-in with that story. Today, I cleaned out a first aid kit and threw away a whole bunch of cotton swab, like on pieces of wood, like almost like a COVID test type swabs that we could give a listener.
Like, where are you going with this story?
I mean, I did throw them in the trash, but I could grab them if we want to put that in one of the prize packs.
Oh, and we promise you that they're
sterile.
Yeah, totally.
There's no DNA from any.
If you want some of our DNA.
Wow. I mean, that is not what I thought was going to happen in this story at all.
That's why it was worthy of the Ripple podcast, because otherwise it would just be another true crime story.
That is bizarre. I was thinking it was some transgender person. I thought it was Pam for quite a while.
Yeah. I mean, I just envisioned, do you remember American Horror Story, the first one, the haunted house one?
Mm-hmm.
And there was that old lady ghost who like appeared as the like super like sexy maid to the husband.
Oh, sure. Uh-huh.
And that's kind of what I envisioned. Like she was just like this shapeshifter.
She had the accent.
Nothing to do with an accent, really.
Oh, just that
no,
she
but
was
just
able
like,
to.
Yeah, just kind of sneak around. And she appeared one way to somebody and appeared another way to somebody else.
Okay.
And just like, yeah. That's what I envisioned in the movie that I played in my head about this story.
Mine was just Pam from The Office.
Yeah. Oh.
Wow.
But
that's a trip.
It is. Pretty sad. But
And I think it sucks too that those 40, however many crimes aren't going to be solved.
Nope.
That's too bad. Wow. You took me for a loop on that one.
That's what I do.
Yeah, I totally was not expecting that to be what happened.
Yeah, that's why it's a strange and unusual podcast.
Wow. Good story. Good job.
I like a good twist.
Me too. I love it. It's fun.
But yeah, next couple weeks we have more listener requests.
We do. We have quite a few.
And I don't think
so cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I think most of them, if I remember right, are not true crime related.
It's kind of fun because you and I will look at it, and once like you get a message and it's seen, then the other person doesn't really look at it. So even though it's being sent to the same account, like I've seen messages and you've seen messages, and we haven't necessarily seen the same message. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay. Do you want 2 truths and a lie?
Sure, if that's what you want to do.
I do. Okay, so as I'm researching 2 truths and a lie about Germany, because that's kind of what I want to do, I've decided that we need to go there because in Bavaria...
They have pretzels?
Well, beer is considered a food.
That kind of makes sense.
And the average, like, Bavarian consumes around 150 liters of beer a year. And also, another fun fact about Germany is it has over 300 kinds of bread. So I could just eat bread and drink beer all day long. That sounds fantastic to me.
That sounds like a recipe for some serious bloating.
Yeah, 100%, but it'd be so worth it.
But how many types of bread do we have here? Like, I feel like we've got quite a few.
It says over 300 kinds of bread, and that doesn't even consider regional varieties. There are over 1,200 kinds of pastries, cakes, and other baked goods as well.
I went to dinner at a really fancy steakhouse last night, and instead of bringing out a bread basket, they brought out a pretzel basket. And it was
that's fantastic.
Like these hot, salty pretzel sticks that you just dip in butter.
You know,
it was
that's
amazing.
Kind of like one thing I miss about going to malls. Like, I can't even really remember the last time I went to a mall, but I loved going to like Wetzel's Pretzels and getting like a bag of those like pretzel bites.
Yeah, I've probably lost 10 pounds since malls stopped being a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks exactly to that.
I love them.
And Cinnabon.
Ooh, yum.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's my 2 truths and a lie.
Okay.
The first Oktoberfest was at a funeral.
Oh, I did not know that. Wait, was that the 2 truths and a lie?
That's your one option.
Okay, sorry. I thought that was just like the beginning of a description to something. Okay.
The first Oktoberfest was at a funeral.
Okay.
Number 2, gummy bears are a German invention.
Okay.
And number 3, there are over 1,000 different varieties of sausages in Germany.
Oh, I believe that one. Because I feel like you can just throw anything in a sausage and it's a new type of sausage.
Okay. Can you name a type of sausage?
Bratwurst.
Now, can you name 999 other kinds?
I don't think I can name one other kind. Banger, but bangers aren't German. They're English, right? I don't know.
I don't eat meat. I don't know.
You keep saying that, but it's not a true fact. That's the lie. Because you do eat meat.
I eat chicken and turkey and fish.
Those are all meats.
They are dead carcasses. So is it gummy bears from Germany? Or is it the funeral?
I'm saying that Oktoberfest is not a funeral, but maybe something else. Maybe it was like a wedding. Maybe it was a different event.
Is that what you're going to, is that
I'm
your
gonna
final
go with
answer?
that. Yes, final answer.
The first Oktoberfest was a wedding.
See how smart I am?
Look at you. The first Oktoberfest took place on October 12th, 1810, and it lasted for 5 days and was meant to celebrate the marriage between the Crown Prince of Bavaria, who later became King Ludwig I, to Princess Therese von, German name. It eventually grew into a yearly anniversary that included an annual agricultural fair, music, and food vendors. As time passed, booths became beer halls, and breweries now build temporary structures that hold upwards of 6,000 people. Each year, about 2 million gallons of beer are consumed during Oktoberfest. 2 million gallons.
That's a lot of gallons.
It's a festival that includes parades, amusement rides, games, and dancing. More than 6 million people come to celebrate Oktoberfest each year.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
So fun. And it doesn't really happen on October. I think it happens in September.
I thought so too, but I thought that you just read that it was October.
Well, it's spelled different, though.
No, but I thought you said the date.
Oh, I did. You're right. October 12th, 1810.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought it was in September. I thought that was like a little trick thingy.
Hey, Suri.
Mm-hmm.
When is Oktoberfest?
Here's what I found from wikipedia.org. The Oktoberfest is a 2-week festival held each year in Munich, Germany during late September and early October.
Okay, so late September, early October.
Okay.
So we could go for your birthday one year.
Let's do it.
That would be so fun. I have lederhosen.
That would be fun.
Maybe we could increase our
German listenership.
German listener fan base.
Hey, maybe we would do a lot better if we talked to a bunch of drunk people and had them listen to us.
Well, I mean, that's
we might
kind
be a
of
little
obvious.
bit more entertaining that way.
All right. Well, I really liked your story. That was fun.
Thanks.
And I'm taking one of the listener stories for next week. So
Okay.
Get ready. Put on your seatbelts.
Why is this so awkward? We've only done this 87 other times.
Don't forget to be a fountain.
And not a drain.
And don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe.
All those things.
Bye.
Bye.